Before there were the likes of The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Pair of Kings, The Thundermans, or Drake and Josh, there was Sister Sister, the pioneered twin sitcoms in the 90s. Sister Sister was a show in the 90s that gave us sibling drama, teen angst, and life lessons, all wrapped up in an adorable twin-shaped bow. The show has been off air for over 2 decades, but thanks to syndication and streaming, it has become a permanent resident in our nostalgic playlist. It had something for everyone. Teens got the juicy high school problems with friends, crushes, and sibling squabbles, while parents got wholesome lessons and those good old family discussions at the end of every episode. Kind of like a sitcom mullet. Fun up front and morals in the back. Sister Sister wasn't just a show about identical twins. It was a revolutionary series that brought a fresh perspective to the family sitcom genre. Today on Sentimental Rewind, we're taking a deep dive into what made this show so special, how it paved the future of a twin-themed series, and the important life lessons it imparted on individuality, family, and growing up. Sister Sister premiered on April 1st, 1994, which is honestly the worst day to tell people your show is launching. Sure, ABC's twins separated by birth who magically meet at the mall? Yeah, okay. April Fool's, right? Spoiler, it was no joke. Sister Sister wasn't created by chance. It was the brainchild of Kim Bass, Gary Gilbert, and Fred Schufferman, who wanted to showcase a different kind of family dynamic in the 90s. The idea stemmed from creating a show that could both represent the challenges and the joys of raising 2 twin girls with contrasting personalities and upbringings. It was produced by DePass Entertainment and Paramount Network Television and aired as part of the iconic TGIF lineup. Basically, if you're born in between 1985 and 1995, TGIF was your Friday night babysitter. It all began with Tia and Tamara's younger brother, Taj Mowry. Remember him from Smart Guy, right? Was working on a show called Out with the Night with Patti LaBelle and Morris Chestnut. The executive producer of that show took one look at Taj's twin sisters and said those girls definitely need a show. And just like that, Sister Sister was born. Apparently, the twins both loved The Parent Trap and the Sweet Valley High book series, so the pitch was a mashup of those 2 things. And while every network initially turned them down, ABC was like smart enough to give them a shot. Good call, ABC. With Sister Sister, they aimed to explore the themes of identity and individuality, but through a comedic lens that could both entertain while delivering heartfelt messages. And they hit it out the park. The show's success opened the door for more twin-centric shows to come. But wait! It almost didn't happen. Fun fact, Jackie Harry, the queen of comedic timing, almost didn't play Tia's mom, Lisa. Why?
To mom's stage, your career just went downhill from there.
Because back in the day, being cast as a mom was practically a career death sentence for actresses who had been known as sexy leading ladies. And Jackie was like, me? Sex symbol? Nah, I'm just a funny lady with curves. She only took the role because of Tim Reed, who played Ray Campbell. Their chemistry was instant during the audition that the second they read the lines together, it clicked so hard that ABC probably had a sitcom laugh track on standby. Tim Reed almost didn't play the show either, thanks to some behind-the-scenes beef with producer Season DePass. Long story short, they ran into each other at a fancy event, hashed things over an awkward dinner, and boom, Tim was in. Moral of the story, always make peace with people at black tie events. You'll never know they'll offer you a show. Also fun trivia. Daphne Maxwell Reid guest starred on Sister Sister and played the second Aunt Viv on The Fresh Prince. If you want to see more of Daphne Maxwell, check out my video on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So here's the gist. Tia, the bookish twin, grows up with her adoptive mother Lisa in inner Detroit. Meanwhile, Tamara, the fun-loving twin, is raised by her adoptive father, Ray, in the suburbs. Neither family knows about the other, until a chance encounter at the mall reunites the sisters. Because, of course, twin reunions only happen between racks of discount jeans. Reluctantly, Ray lets Tia and Lisa move in with him and Tamara, setting the stage for 6 seasons of twin hijinks, parent mishaps, and let's be honest, a lot of
Go home, Roger!
moments. Years later, shows like The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Pair of Kings would draw on Sister Sister's blueprint, examining the idea of sibling rivalry, mistaken identities, and the inevitable comparison of being a twin. But where Sister Sister thrived in its storytelling was in the contrast between Tia and Tamara's distinct personalities. Sister Sister wasn't just ahead of its game with its twin shenanigans. It broke the fourth wall way before it was cool.
Yeah, she's my new sister. Twin sisters. See? We just never met before.
Tia and Tamara would look straight into the camera to give us viewers their 2 cents, making us feel like part of the inside joke. Some way, Deadpool was definitely taking notes.
Bruh.
While Zack and Cody tackled these themes in an often playful and mischievous way, Sister Sister took it deeper by wavering the emotional complexities of being separated at birth and brought up in different socio-economic environments. The twins' journey wasn't just about pulling pranks or switching places. It was about rediscovering who you were as individuals and together as a family. Sister Sister was groundbreaking in its portrayal of twins who were truly distinct individuals, even though they looked identical. This wasn't your typical switch places comedy trope or a series of mix-up gags. Before we get into deep, let's tackle the elephant in the room, the theme song. Because it's been a mystery for decades. The first 4 seasons, no one really knows who sang it. Some say it's Johnny Mathis, others think it's Boyz II Men, and few conspiracy theorists are convinced it was the Loch Ness Monster with a doodah band. By season 5, Tia and Tamara said, forget the mystery, we'll sing it ourselves, and just like that, we got the jazzy, self-aware bop that's still stuck in our heads 20 years later. Back to the show's impact and unique whatsoever. In the audition, the show perfectly illustrates how the twins' unique personalities influence their decisions. Tia, the book-smart, cautious twin raised by Lisa, sees the audition as an academic challenge. On the other hand, Tamara, raised by the protective and meticulous Ray, brings her extroverted, go-with-the-flow attitude into the mix. This subtle distinction gave the series emotional depth while delivering laughs. Basically, if Tia's the type to read the manual before assembling IKEA furniture, Tamara's the one who throws away the instruction manual and says, hey, I got this. It's a classic left brain and right brain scenario, added with a dose of twin drama. The show's premise wasn't just about laughs or mixing up the twins for comedic effect. It used their differences to explore broader questions. How do upbringing and environment shape who we are? How do we define ourselves when others see us as a part of a set? And most importantly, what does family mean when it's not defined by blood? Tia's journey is one of subtle growth, learning to step aside her comfort zone and embracing the spontaneity of teenage life. Raised by Lisa, a fierce, independent, and creative single mom, Tia initially struggles to reconcile her own cautious nature with Lisa's unpredictable energy. Lisa Landry, played hilariously by Jackie Harry, is the show's vibrant heartbeat. A dreamer and go-getter, Lisa's attempt at starting her own fashion line often ends in chaos, but the show highlights a deeper theme of perseverance and self-expression. You know it's gonna be fun when Lisa's involved, whether she's rocking her latest unique fashion statement or dropping some of her iconic one-liners.
Lisa! Lisa! Lisa, we need to talk. You know.
But I'm the one who had to look.
You can bet she's the kind of mom that keeps things, well, unpredictable. Despite being constantly at odds with Ray Campbell, Tia's adoptive father and a buttoned-up businessman, Lisa never lets failure stop her. Together, their dynamic shows a blend of conflicting yet complementary parenting styles. I think we're forgetting someone. Can't quite put a finger on it. Oh, Roger! Speaking of go home, Roger! Marcus Houston, who played Roger Evans, wasn't just an annoying neighbor. He was also a certified pop star in the R&B group Immature, later known as IMX. In fact, the group was so popular that producers had to ban them from performing between takes because they were stealing too much attention from the show. Roger eventually became more of a friend and less of a creep. But let's face it, the phrase, "Go home, Roger," is still the first thing that pops up in our head when we see him. Some catchphrases just hit different. Sister Sister set itself apart by tackling the ups and downs of teenage life from a unique lens. Tia and Tamara faced the usual high school dilemmas, dating, peer pressure, self-esteem issues, but with an added challenge, figuring out who they were both as individuals and as twins. In this episode, Tamara struggles with feelings of inadequacy when Tia gets accepted into a special program. It's a story that resonates with anyone who has ever felt overshadowed by a sibling or a friend. But instead of painting Tamara as the less academic twin, this episode highlights her intelligence and creativity. See, who says you can't measure intelligence with a paintbrush? Well, okay, maybe a little subjective, but you still get it. Here the show reminds us that success comes in many forms. For these girls, their greatest success was navigating the often murky waters of individuality while never losing sight of their bond. Unfortunately, it wasn't all smooth sailings behind the scenes. In 2020, Tia and Tamara opened up about the discrimination they faced in the industry, despite Sister Sister's success sometimes even outperforming Friends in the ratings. They were told they couldn't appear on certain covers of magazines because they were black. Yep, the 90s weren't just all butterfly clips and snap bracelets. They also struggled with pay inequality, constantly being offered less than their non-black counterparts. As Tia put it, "We didn't know what was the budget back then, but we knew we weren't getting the same treatment." And now let's talk about the unsung heroes of the series, Ray and Lisa. Their dynamic brought a nuanced portrayal of single parenting and cohabitation to the screen, without ever resorting to the typical will they or won't they romantic tension. Ray's strict pragmatic approach often clashes with Lisa's free-spirited style, but despite their differences, they co-parent harmoniously, emphasizing respect over romance. This focus on platonic partnership sets Sister Sister apart from most sitcoms that lean heavily on romantic subplots. And let's take a moment to appreciate Ray's attempt at dealing with Lisa's antics. It's like watching a cat and dog who know they shouldn't get along but end up in a cuddle pile anyway. Sister Sister was more than a pioneer for twin sitcoms. It broke down stereotypes about African American families, addressed the pressures of conformity, and celebrated individuality. Through Tia and Tamara's highs and lows, the show conveyed a timeless message: embrace who you are, whether you're part of a pair or standing alone. And whether you're tuning in for Tia's logic, Tamara's antics, and Lisa's one-liners, or Ray's steady guidance, Sister Sister gave us a family worth rooting for. One that reminded us that no matter the circumstances, it's the love and laughter that binds us together. Looking back, it's easy to see how Sister Sister laid the groundwork for shows like The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Pair of Kings. While Zack and Cody brought sibling rivalry and switcheroo plots to the luxury hotel, Pair of Kings added a dash of royal intrigue. Sister Sister pioneered a nuanced exploration of twin identity before it was a sitcom staple. And remember Two of a Kind with Mary-Kate and Ashley Oslin taking center stage? It's easy to see the influence of Sister Sister. However, Two of a Kind focused more on comedic mishaps and the growing pains of twin sisters navigating preteen life. Sister Sister leaned into the unique dynamic of reunification and cultural identity. Basically, if Sister Sister was your teen with a college degree, Two of a Kind was a goofy younger sibling still figuring things out, while probably setting the kitchen on fire in the process. But regardless of the differences, Sister Sister's success made it clear to networks that audiences were hungry for twin stories with depth. Shows that could explore the joys, frustrations, and the inevitable rivalry between siblings who shared more than just a last name. The show's cultural impact didn't just end there. Years later, after Sister Sister wrapped, Tia and Tamara returned to the small screen with a reality show, Tia and Tamara, giving us a sneak peek into their life as adults, mothers, and entrepreneurs. Their bond remains as strong as ever, providing that the lessons and the love they shared from Sister Sister continue to resonate. At its core, Sister Sister was the masterclass at balancing humor and heart. From Lisa's laugh-out-loud one-liners to Ray's deadpan reactions, the show kept us smiling, even though it delved into serious territory. Let's face it, Lisa Landry is basically a cool, stylish aunt who's always 5 minutes late to every family event, but when she shows up, the party doesn't officially start until she made her entrance. But what truly set Sister Sister apart was its willingness to explore the themes that other sitcoms wouldn't touch. Being raised in different social classes, facing cultural and racial identity issues, and learning to love yourself for who you are. Whether it was Tamara overcoming insecurities about her academic abilities or Tia embracing a quirky, nerdy side, the show sent a powerful message. It's okay to be different. And it's okay to love those differences. In a world full of Zacks and Codys and Brady Bunches, Sister Sister was that rare gem that gave us more than just laughs. It gave us a story of a family, friendship, and finding yourself, even when the world sees you as just one half of a pair. Even though Sister Sister ended in 1999, it's still a gem for anyone who wants a good family sitcom. Whether you are watching it for nostalgia or rediscovering it for the first time, the show's blend of humor, heart, and healthy family dynamics still holds up. Plus, who doesn't need more twin-themed chaos in their lives? So, if you've ever told someone, "Go home, Roger," or spend a little too long humming that theme song, congratulations! You have earned your TGIF badge of honor. And that's a wrap on today's Sentimental Rewind. Sister Sister left an indelible mark on the sitcom world, pioneering a genre that many shows would later build upon. So what are your favorite Sister Sister moments? Drop them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more retrospective shows that made our childhoods, well, unforgettable. Until next time, with an amazing video, let's keep rewinding.